This is Leo Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. You can visit us online at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook or at urbanyoga.org on the web. Check out our schedule of daily classes offered on Zoom, 4 days a week, Thursday through Sunday mornings at the Convention Center outdoors, sometimes at the park, depending on what's going on with the city facilities, currently at the Convention Center. And there are tip jar mechanisms there online where you can make contributions to support classes we offer via Zoom, which become these videos on YouTube. And what we're doing today is a shorter segment because, as happens sometimes, no one logged in to join me on Zoom. So we use that opportunity to create shorter segments so that when you come to YouTube to look to practice with us and maybe don't have a whole hour to give to it, you can find something shorter to do. So here we are. I'm starting out sitting. You could be sitting or kneeling. In fact, I'd like to welcome you to start your practice in any posture that you want. So maybe you're lying down. Maybe you have your legs up the wall or on a piece of furniture. Get comfortable however you want to start. I'm going to talk today in this short practice about Aparigraha, which is non-grasping, non-holding, non-possessiveness, non-hoarding. One of the fun things about looking at Sanskrit terms and passing them on in English is that everything has between 2 and 6 meanings, maybe more than 6. There's always more than one interpretation for a Sanskrit term into English. So non-holding, non-grasping, non-attachment. So starting right off, I'm not going to be attached to the posture I'm in. I'm sitting on a couple blocks, and I'm sitting on the forward edge of them to let my pelvis tilt forward. Makes a nice opening through here, and letting the lower spine lengthen out a little more easily, a little more comfortably. But I want you to be comfortable as you start with me today. So whatever that looks like for you. Now, obviously, I'm here speaking to and practicing for a camera. So to some degree, I'm always going to be thinking about what this looks like. But I try to limit that really to making sure that you can see me and not what I look like, what the shape appears to be, but more tuning into how it feels. And even when it comes to how it feels, not looking for it to feel a certain way, but being more focused on the curiosity of what it feels like, each posture, each movement. So I know from practice that this is often a comfortable position for me to sit in. And as I come to it, if it's not comfortable on a given day, I allow myself the freedom to let that go and choose another posture. So I'll start like this, you start however you like. And that's not just about whether I'm sitting or lying down, every little thing. Where do my hands rest? Not where it looks good, not because, oh, I want to make this picture, I saw someone do this. Maybe this feels good, this mudra. Maybe this feels good. Whatever feels good. It can be helpful to close your eyes and reduce visual input. So now I can't see myself, and that should facilitate focusing on what my position feels like, what my posture feels like. Bring your attention to your breathing, not trying to do anything, just observing, just changing your focus. Now, what generally happens here is your breath will slow down and get deeper, but don't try to make it do so. Don't direct your breath, just notice it. Notice where you feel the movements of your inhales and the movements of your exhales. your breath is indeed getting deeper and slower, how does that lead to changes in sensation? By observing yourself without attaching to an expectation, by moving without attaching to a result, we can learn more about our body, about our breath, about the way we move, about the relationship between the movement and breath, the mind and the movement, the breath and the mind. Just continuing to let your breath flow as it will. Other ways that we can practice this non-attachment, Aparigraha, off the mat. Because after all, practice of yoga is not just about what we do while we're on this mat. Yoga is a way of living. It is an deepened practice. In our day-to-day interactions and activities, a lot of times we attach the expectations. Expectations are the seeds of resentments, disappointments, other unpleasant things we'd rather not feel. So practicing non-attachment is a helpful practice in managing expectations and then managing those unpleasant things that can come up when expectations aren't met. Some examples of this might be expecting someone who's often late to be on time, expecting someone who's forgetful to remember something. And maybe that someone is myself. Maybe I'm the one who's running late. I can trip myself up by expecting to be on time. Or I'm the forgetful one and I can trip myself up by expecting myself to remember to too high a degree. Maybe all of us are sometimes forgetful. All of us are sometimes late. And these are just a couple examples. There can be degrees. We can get trapped in this myth of perfectionism. Feel bad when we don't do something as well as we thought we would, as we wanted to. So not attaching to results can be practiced in many ways. It could be preparing some food, maybe recipe I haven't prepared before or haven't prepared very many times. Not attaching to how is this going to come out. Just being in the process of the preparing and the cooking and the eating without attachment. Coming back to where we are on our mats. Notice whatever is going on around you. And you don't have to open your eyes to notice what's going on around you. You might notice the quality of the light filtering through your eyelids if your eyes are closed. Notice whatever you might be hearing in the room that you're in, outside that room. Perhaps there are scents to notice. Do you smell anything in your space? And not attaching here. Maybe there isn't a particular smell registering to you right now. That's okay. Maybe you smell something, you don't know what that smell is. That's okay too. Sounds you detect might be big or small, short or long, identifiable or not, expected. Throughout practice, whatever comes up from within or from without, we don't need to attach. Anything that comes up, external or internal, can be just something else to integrate into our practice. Scan your body from head to toe, or if you prefer, from toe to head. Check in with each part, each area. What do you notice? There are no wrong answers. Without expectation, what's going on? How do you feel in your neck, in your back, in your legs? Notice wherever there is to be noticed. Notice your overall posture. Are you still comfortable? You came to a comfortable position to start. Are you holding it for the sake of holding it? Are you in the same position because it still works, or because you resist changing it? There's no need to attach to the posture you started in. Maybe this is longer than you usually are still. Maybe something shifts. Maybe if you're sitting with your legs crossed, you switch. Which leg is in front of the other? Maybe if you've been kneeling, as you check in and think about it, your body tells you that's enough time kneeling. Let's do something else. You can resume relative stillness, not attaching to a particular shape. And as we prepare to begin moving around, remembering not to attach to notions of how anything should look or should feel. Not to attach to any particular goal, but to exploring. Exploring is a direction, a frame of mind, a journey, not a destination. Without worrying about how any particular movement or posture looks, paying attention to how it feels, asking our body what it needs. If you like, I invite you to share 3 deep cleansing breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sighing sound. If your eyes are still closed and you would like to, open them, or maybe you keep them closed. To wet my speaking mechanism. Had a little dry mouth, dry throat there. Let's just explore what's going on in the neck. It's morning now. Maybe you're watching this in the morning, maybe not. In the morning, necks are often stiff, so often start here. Let the chin come down towards your chest. Really take your time, roll your ear towards your shoulder, and let your head sit back. Roll your other ear towards your other shoulder. Go as slowly as you can stand. And not worrying about whether you're going as slow as me, or faster, or slower. Listen to your neck. This slowly is a relative term. Maybe my slowly seems too fast for you. If you find a spot that feels particularly tight, you might pause there, rock back and forth, not attaching to the need for circles, right? Exploring what that neck needs. Maybe you let go of circles entirely. Change direction at some point if you're circling. Maybe you're opting now for less directed movement, more listening in movement. You might play with just looking around your space by moving your head instead of moving your eyes. Discovering different tight spots or different sensations. Maybe something about the space you're in that you haven't noticed before. Just random little observation. In the next couple of breaths, wrap up those movements for your neck. So now I'll switch my legs again. First it was one knee didn't want to be where it was, and then it was one ankle didn't want to be there. I encourage you to vary your posture however you like. Maybe kneeling or sitting will do for the next little bit. You bring your hands to the sides. Let your fingertips rest on the floor so that you stay long in your spine. Now this is about giving yourself more room to breathe. Long spine, long torso, more room for the lungs. And exploring length in the arms and the hands. Tall, not stiff, not rigid. And now raise your arm up alongside your ear. Exhale, let your arm drape across your head. Now can you let the weight of your arm draw your head over to the side? Not forcing, seeing how much pressure seems helpful to lengthen this trapezius muscle. You might lift the opposite hand a little and reach out through the fingertips. And can you notice where that tipping point is? Coming to here, the muscle is longer. If I go up here, it starts to shorten. It takes practice to feel into that. Let that hand down if it's raised, and let's play with giving the neck a break. Let your neck stay passive. Let your hands slide across your head. Come down to your cheek. Let your arm do the work of nudging your head to center. Let this hand down and notice what's going on in your neck. Does one side feel different than the other side? No wrong answers. When you're ready, inhale and raise the other arm. Exhale and let it drape over gently, not yanking, letting the weight of the arm drop to the side. And if you like, you can raise the other hand a bit and reach out through the fingertips, feeling for length at the side of the neck, that nice line from the base of the skull out towards the shoulder, trapezius muscle. Moving in the flight path, there's always external sounds to notice here. There's a propeller type plane going by overhead. Letting the extended hand down if it's off the floor. Let your neck stay relaxed and passive. Let your hands slide over and slide down. Let your arm lift your head. Let that hand down. Notice again what's going on in your neck. How does it feel? Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs, wherever it's comfortable. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, bring your heart back, let your head tip forward. Whatever degree of movement feels good to you. Maybe you close your eyes. Sometimes it's helpful to see ourselves, but I really find it limiting sometimes. In some studios, there are mirrors on the wall. Depending on what you're doing, it might be instructive to see yourself. I really believe it's more important to take in how things feel than how things look. And there are some instances where there's a good visual indicator of what's stabler or what's safer. There are no absolutes. Maybe these movements are growing bigger. Maybe your breaths are growing longer. But let's not make that a goal. Let's just move forward and back. The breath and the movement may grow. It may not. After your next exhale, sit up tall again. We'll explore simple, gentle, seated twists. Reach your right hand to the floor behind you. Probably just fingertips on the floor still here too, staying long. And bring the other hand across your opposite leg. Inhale, press into the floor, feel for the crown of your head raising up. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more, working from the waist, working up, and just seeing on each exhale if your body wants to go a bit further. So maybe with each breath there's a little more to go, or maybe you found sufficient twist on the second or third breath. And then just breathe right there without needing to go further, without attaching to the goal of a deeper twist. Let yourself untwist, come back, and face forward. Other side, walk your hand behind you, bring the opposite hand across. Inhale, find length. Exhale, invite a little more twisting. Not attaching to making one side be the same as the other either. Each side may need something different. One may need more twists than the other. By listening in, one side may say it needs less twist than the other, depending on which one you did first, how each side's feeling. Or maybe there isn't a detectable difference, not attaching to the expectation of difference, but focusing on the inquiry. Let yourself unwind, come back through center. Take a drink whenever you want to. You don't need to drink when I do. If you need more water than I do, maybe you need less. Rest your hands in front of you and walk them forward. Loose, simple, dare I say, sloppy forward fold. Don't worry about what it looks like at all. Walk your hands out as far as they want to go. Then let your head come down. Let your neck disengage and breathe into your back. Thinking of the lower back. Thinking of sending the breath there. Slowly walk your hands over to the left. Whatever distance feels good to you, stop when you get to the point that feels like you don't want to go further, and breathe that. Slowly walk your hands back through center and over to your right. Whatever amount feels helpful, breathe there. Walk your hands back to center and then back in towards you. Sit yourself up. So this is a shorter practice I'm offering today, and I'm not going to end it lying flat in corpse pose, Shavasana. You're welcome to do so if you want to, but check in with your body. Is that something your body wants, or is that something that your mind attached to? Or maybe there are energetic or emotional reasons you have for wanting to come to corpse pose. You're welcome to conclude our shorter practice in any posture you like. So maybe it's the seated or kneeling posture you've been in, or maybe it's something else. If you like, close your eyes and do what you like with your hands and your arms. Simply observe the circumstances, the surroundings. Observe the external and the internal. There are no wrong answers. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What are you feeling? In your feet, in your legs, in your lower back, your belly, your middle back, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your head. Maybe the way you're feeling is similar to how you feel after any yoga practice that you're used to. Or maybe it's different. Maybe this duration is the difference for you. Maybe the degree of talking is unfamiliar. Comparing what you expected before you began this practice to what it actually was. Reveal to you where you were attaching. The way the practice felt in your body and your mind can also indicate where there was grasping the hold. What did you learn about you in this short practice today? Can you look ahead, thinking of extending your practice into the rest of the day, the practice beyond the mat, remaining aware of when and where you attach, have expectations, set yourself up for ill feeling. A wise person once suggested wearing life like a loose garment. Attachments are restricted. They're not comfortable. As you move through your day, can you be at ease? When you notice attachments, can you release them? elsewhere the rest of your day, like a soft, comfortable loose calm. As a thought exercise, let's 3 deep cleansing breaths again, thinking on the inhales of ease, and comfort, and peace. And as you exhale, thinking of attachment. It doesn't have to be specific, maybe just in general. Exhaling that grasping, holding, that need to attach, that need for expectation. Allow your eyes to float open if they're closed. If you like, bring your hands up by your heart, and maybe they're not like this. Maybe they're like this. Maybe they're not at your heart. Thank you for sharing your practice with the light within you. Honors and bows to the same light within you. I am attached to saying certain things at the beginning of the because it's helpful for folks. I'm Neil Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. We have classes on Zoom every day. Those Zoom classes become these YouTube videos. You can check out our class schedule and stop by the tip jar at urbanyoga.org or at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. Thursday through Sunday mornings, you can practice with us in person, outdoors, at a distance, safely. We are at 8:15 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 9:45 on Sunday. Currently at Jackie Lee Houston Plaza, Palm Springs Convention Center. Questions and feedback are always welcome, whether you're outside with us, on Zoom, or on YouTube.